everyone, it's Christy with AG Takes Over. Glad you're here, as always. If you are new to my channel, let me let you in on a little secret. It is always about American Girl dolls. Every single time. Even when it's a little bit on a tangent, it's always about dolls. So that might be dressing them, or showing you what I bought for them, or showing you what I made for them, or talking about my traveling with them, or any of those things. This channel is by an adult for adults, so if this is what you're looking for, let's get started. This particular video was inspired by Bailey over at American Girl Films. She did a tag video, and if you're not familiar, that is where you come up with a concept and you generally tag a few channels in your channel description or in your video. You can say, and I'm tagging these people. But I don't know everybody's situation, and you kind of have to meet a certain qualification for this one. So I'm going to list a whole bunch of channels in the descriptions, and if you get the tag and the shoe fits and you're interested, then put it on. The tag is dating and dolls. And so Bailey came up with a list of questions. I'm going to answer those questions. And this was really geared towards content creators that are in partnerships in some way, shape, or form. And so I'll be answering those questions. She also said, I know that a lot of channels are looking for video ideas that aren't all about hauls. And so she's just trying to not only have some ideas for herself, but share those ideas with other creators. So when I notice those and they are appealing to me or seem to fit, then I will go ahead and participate in them, because I like a good tag video. Feels very old school agtube, if you ask me. All right, so while she was answering questions about herself and her husband, she was dressing a couple of her dolls. No, she wasn't. She was doing their nails, putting some nail polish on them. And I figured I would go ahead and dress my mini-me and my wife's mini-me. And I'll show you what they're wearing, and then I'm not going to show you what outfits I'm putting on them. I'm just going to talk, and then I'll lift them up when they're done. Okay? So first, before I get started with the questions, here is not my mini-me, clearly. This is my wife Grace's mini-me. So she's got gray eyes and this burgundy colored, like wine colored hair, which I am in charge of keeping my wife's hair colored. Whenever she tells me she's ready to color it again, then I am in charge of that. And her hair is longer than my wife's, but this was the closest wig she could find, and some nice rectangular glasses. And she's currently in these pajamas, some newer Truly Me pajamas. And of course, a scrunchie around her wrist. All right, so the questions are, first question is, how did you and your partner meet? And by the way, those of you who are not new to the channel will already know some of these answers, and that's okay. You're still gonna get to see some dolls get dressed, and it'll be cute. And I will try to throw in a couple questions, maybe additional ones at the end that you may or may not know the answers to. All right, how did we meet? My wife and I are both sign language interpreters. I don't remember the first time we met, because I was new to town and I had started working just very part-time at a community college as a sign language interpreter, and the term hadn't even started yet. And one of the staff interpreters had like a barbecue, like a start of term, getting to see everybody again, getting to know you thing. So I went to it, but I had not met any of those people. Other than the person who I interviewed with, I didn't know anybody. So I went, and she said she was there. She said we met. I don't remember, because I was like the one new face, and then she was one of all new faces to me, so that makes sense that I wouldn't recall that. And then later, she said she was working at that school. She also taught there, so at that college, and so she was walking by one of the classrooms, and I was in a classroom interpreting. So she walked by, I didn't see her, and she said, I remember looking in and seeing you and going, damn, again, that one can't be held against me because I didn't even see her walk by. And then the first time that I actually remember us meeting was at a different college. We were both interpreting the same assignment. And it was the kind of assignment where you have work to do at the beginning, and then you're just kind of on standby. So we were just like in a separate room from the consumers, just hanging out, waiting to see if they needed us. And we just chatted for a while. And I remember talking about books and our parents and some, geeky fan things that we were into. And yeah, it was nice. We just clicked as friends, and the rest of it is a little bit of a blur. Like, we became friends on Facebook, and then I was interpreting at a national conference in New Orleans, and she was going there with a bunch of other people that she knew from the Columbus area. I mean, a bunch, I don't know, a car full. And like, she was like, I'm here. And so each night when I would be done with my interpreting stuff, we would hang out a little bit. And it was there that we met in Columbus a few times, but we started dating in New Orleans. Conference love. I remember specifically, like, one night, like, a bunch of people were in my hotel room just hanging out, and like one by one they were all leaving and she stayed. And it was like, okay, there's definitely something going on here, right? It can be hard to read people sometimes, especially if you've been out of the dating scene for a while. But I was like, nope, this is mutual. And yeah, so that was the start of how we started dating. Our first official date was at the Café du Monde, and we had beignets. So every year on our anniversary, I'm like, I'm gonna make beignets, and I never do it. We end up doing other stuff, but I just never end up doing it. So that is how we met. That is the first question. The next question is, how did you tell your partner about your hobby? It's a combo question. Does your partner support your love for dolls? Well, she better. She's to blame. Yeah, neither one of us were collectors when we met. She fell down the rabbit hole first, and then I came along afterwards. I mean, I was here, but I came along in terms of like getting into dolls much after her. We had shared other hobbies prior to that, but yeah. She definitely is supportive. I mean, she went upstairs on child duty because I had just gone into our daughter's room, and so she went up there right now so that I could come down and film. So yeah, I'd say she's supportive. And if you want to know what she looked like for our wedding, here is as close as I can get for now. So she had a fancier dress than this, but this is really, really close. And it was not a choker, so let me pull that down. I need to get like the headpiece that she had. I'll put a picture up here. But yeah, she had on silver shoes, like many people for weddings, like heels for the ceremony, flats for the reception. So I'm putting her in her reception shoes. There she is. So that's one down. And then the next question is, how much does your partner know about your collection? Can they name your dolls or their characters, etc.? Again, yeah, she better know them. I actually am quicker to be able to name all the dolls. I mostly keep the spreadsheet that we have. I maintain that a little bit more than she does. And I do these videos, so I regularly have to like grab the dolls and put their names and their numbers and things like that up on the screen. So, oh, sorry, I didn't show you what my mini-me is wearing. Her mini-me is Ingrid because that was almost her name. And whoa, girl, that was like the name that they were considering for her. And I already took her boots off, but she was wearing some cute Maple Leaf boots that were a perfect match. And then mine is Casey. My childhood mini-me is Sydney because one of the names that I was almost named was Cindy, and it's just a flipped around version of it. So Sydney is the mini-me that represents me as a kid. And Casey, that's for my initials, pre-marriage initials, is for my adult mini-me, which my hair, I mean, our hair is slightly different, but close enough. And she's wearing a ring and I've got a stud, and I don't ever wear my glasses in videos because the ring light, but you get the picture. We even have matching tattoos, so pretty darn similar. Anyway, yeah, she knows all about the collection. The next one says, have I ever been discouraged from collecting in the past? Again, no, certainly not by the person who got me into it. No. I don't really think anybody has, but I don't have like past partners or like anything to compare that to and say, well, in the past, this person wasn't supportive, or at the beginning, she wasn't supportive. If anything, it was a little bit the other way around. All right. Did I worry about dating as a doll collector? I know I'm partnered, but these questions really don't fit me. And I told Bailey I would probably add some just because of that. No, I did not worry about dating as a doll collector. I guess I can answer this hypothetically. I don't plan on finding myself single anytime soon, but if that were to happen, like if I were ever in a situation where I were dating again, I don't think I'd worry about it. No. I have all kinds of quirks. This is like hardly the biggest. I mean, it's the one that takes up the most space. But as Bailey said, if you like just be yourself, I know it's cliche, but be yourself, and the people that are going to be good in your life will accept that. And the people who would have a hard time accepting that wouldn't have been a good fit for you anyway. Number 6 is, what advice would you give a single or new collector? This is not going to be original. It is exactly what Bailey said. It is, find people who understand your brand of quirkiness, who understand your nerdiness, or who, even if they don't understand your fascination with dolls, find people who will be able to say, what is it that you like about them? What is the joy that they give you? What is the creative outlet that they give you? And then just respect that. Or what is the therapeutic value of them? What is the whatever. What is it that draws you to them? And then support your love of dolls because of that. So, as an example, I see all the time that there are couples, this is a very common trope, but like in hetero couples, I see this a lot, like, the female is into American Girl dolls and the male is into Legos. And I've never dated anybody who was like big into Legos, but if I did, they take up a lot of space. They're very expensive. It's not something I relate to. I like to put things together once, but I don't think they're really that attractive to display personally. So it's not something I relate to. But I would ask, what is it that you like about them? What is it about this that brings you joy? And then if they told me, I would respect that, right? I don't have to understand it to respect it. So yeah, that's what I would tell somebody. I would strongly advocate against hiding it from potential partners. Like, screw that. Why waste time? Why waste time? I mean, if you are looking for anything long term, just tell them up front. I don't know. That's just me. I think conversations about politics, religion, do you want children, and what crazy expensive space consuming hobbies do you have? Like, all of that is fair game for early dates. If somebody's not on board, oh gosh, this is horrible. Okay, so I'm trying to do like an outfit that is similar to my wedding outfit. And like, I had that dress custom made for Ingrid. Casey doesn't have anything yet. My goal is to make something for her. Not personally, but to like commission something for her. It's sometime in 2025, but I haven't. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just use this, because my suit had like ivory colored pants, an ivory colored jacket, very tailored. And I wore just a tank top underneath, like a burgundy tank top. And then I had on gold shoes. This is not it. Oh, This was me trying. So let me just do this. Bring her down this way. So gold shoes. Yes, we're looking good. Okay, these aren't like tuxedo pants, but they've got the stripes. They're kind of tailored and cute. I used that AGOT recital outfit, and I forgot that I didn't realize that it had these puffy sleeves, and it's just horrible. It's horrible. I don't want her to wear this. Is there anything better than I can? Oh, you know what? Hold on. There's a guy over here. I'm gonna steal his shirt. It's not what I wore, but at least it's something I would feel more comfortable in. Hang tight. Sorry, Oliver. I'm stealing your clothes. All right. So yeah, that's what I would tell somebody. And then I added a few questions. Do you have a mini-me of your partner? Obviously, you know the answer to this by now, but I just added it in case anybody that I tag wants to add that question. So yes, I do. I put her eyes in, and I think I might have done her wig. So yeah, not only do I have one, but I helped create it in great part. And then I said, have you ever had dates that involve dolls? So I haven't taken a doll like on a fancy date or anything. But we have done things that I would characterize as dates. I don't know. For couples who've been married a while, when you have a kid-free night and you go to the bookstore and you actually get to browse books without your child saying, can we go up and down the elevator and up and down the escalator as the primary activity in this bookstore? When you go by yourselves and you actually get to browse books and then you like have dinner or something, does that count as a date? I count that. With a 5-year-old? Hell yeah, I count that. So when, God, looks like such a dork. She looks very uncomfortable. When we would go to the American Girl store by ourselves and then maybe to like a bookstore or a nearby restaurant, that was a date night. So in that sense, yes, we had dates that involved dolls. And we like doll photography. So would I like do a picnic, but also bring our dolls? Yeah, I would totally do that. I mean, I'm lucky enough that my partner is not only like tolerant, but right there with me. So I would do that. Have dolls brought you closer together, driven you apart, or had no impact on the closeness of your relationship? So I put this in here because I thought I'm happy to answer it. But also, if anybody wants to add that when they do this tag, oh yeah, this is much cuter, then I would be interested to hear other people's answers. So for those of you who don't know my story, initially, I would say this was a little bit of a wedge between us. So when my wife, and maybe you can relate, maybe you have been on the other end of this, when my wife kind of went down this rabbit hole, she had dolls as a child, and then they were reintroduced to her in COVID. Her dad brought her toys down on a visit, and she opened up the tubs and was like, my dolls, my childhood dolls. Aw, I loved these. And then quickly went down the rabbit hole and found all the adult collector groups and started buying a whole lot of stuff and started accumulating. So there was a lot of money going out and a lot of stuff coming in, and that was very jarring to me. It was very quick. I now have been around collectors long enough to call that the RAP, the Rapid Acquisition Period. And I know that that is typical, but I'm not a collector personality, and so that was very jarring to me. And excess clutter and excess spending are both things that kind of stress me out. I'm a pretty mellow person, but those kind of... So I was having some big feelings about it. And at the same time, I wanted to be really supportive because I love Grace and I want to be supportive of the things that appear to be bringing her happiness, provided that they're healthy, right? So I had some concerns about that. And we sat down and had as much of a come to Jesus talk as, two faithless heathens can have, and set up kind of some guidelines and tried to talk about it, and what is it that you like about this? See, this is how I know that's what I'd ask, because it's exactly what I asked. What is it that brings you joy about this? What are you getting out of it, so I can understand that? And then let me tell you, what are the parts I'm struggling with? And maybe we can address that. You can be considerate of that, and I can be respectful of the good that you have about this, and we can both feel good about it. And so we did, and we set up a dedicated space for them. That was before this room, and a budget, and we set up a spreadsheet and started tracking, and I still didn't understand it, but at least it helped. It went from not in like a marriage is in danger, but like it was a wedge. I think it was negatively impacting our marriage. And then it went to like a neutral. And then the longer it was a neutral and the more I felt like about things, then the easier it was for me to really embrace and see through her eyes what was so cool about these dolls and what was so cool about this community. And that's obviously why I joined the community and got, dove head first. But yeah, so for me, it has been all three of those things. And I would say currently, yeah, it's definitely good for our relationship, because it is lovely to enjoy a hobby by yourself. It is lovely to enjoy a hobby with your friends, and it is lovely to enjoy a hobby with your partner, right? All of those things are valid. All of those things are great. And we are fortunate that we have multiple hobbies and interests in common. Not all of them, because we're separate people. And even the ones that we have in common, we kind of approach a little bit differently. But we are lucky to get to enjoy these things together. Okay, it still looks nothing like my wedding outfit. This is a project for later this year, but here she is. And I just put that shirt on. I was like, well, all right, whatever. And then here we are together. Oops. Smile, look like you like each other. Aww. And then I'm out of questions, but I really quickly just wanted to show you. I was going to try to set up a scene, but it is too hard to multitask. I have a little table here, but whatever. Have you heard of the channel Always Dolls? Oh my gosh, it's such an amazing channel. They always do crafts. They're always about American Girl size crafts. It's an Australian-based channel, and it's hard to get like big ticket items there from American Girl, so they usually do dupes, and they're so detailed, and it's so cool to watch. And all those big things, I'm like, whoo, that's amazing. I'm probably not going to do that. But every once in a while, they do something that feels a little more manageable, and I'm like, I'm going to try that one. So recently, they did a fondue set, and I posted this on Instagram, but since I'm filming right around Valentine's Day, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but hopefully sometime around there, hopefully in February, I followed the tutorial-ish. I kind of made some changes, but I wanted to show you the things. And I just cannot say enough good things about the crafting channels, Joanne's 18-inch Dolls and Always Dolls. Are like, those two channels are exclusively crafting for your dolls. And then there are a lot of channels that I mention on a regular basis that are more of a like variety channel, but they also do crafts. So here are my strawberries. They had a silicone mold. They're probably showing up a little bit brown, but they definitely are red. They're red and shiny, and I added some greenery to some of them, but not all of them. Gosh, I wish I could get, yeah, they don't look, they're kind of the weak link of this, but Grace said, I think they look good. And then these are supposed to be like those little wafer cookies that have the icing in them. And they're just paper. It's just a bunch of paper. And then I scored it. Always Dolls has this really cool scoring tool that I didn't have. So I just like did what I could. And then I wanted to make the scored lines show up well. So I just took chalk pastels with a darker brown and went over it so that this part would be darker. And then, oh my gosh. And then the grooves would show up better. And then it's hot glue dipped in, like painted. So it looks like melty chocolate. Here's the fondue pot. They used a white one and they made it the kind that has the little flame underneath. We have fondue pots. In fact, that is our Valentine's Day date plan. We have 2 fondue pots. So we've got a cheese fondue going and a chocolate fondue going. Anyway, ours is electric, so I made ours electric. The channel did theirs white. I made ours metallic because ours are metallic, but theirs are little dial. Fondue pot, chocolate in there. It's really full. Really full. And then these are the skewers. And I didn't have the oblong beads that they had, so I didn't want to go out and buy anything for this project, so I stacked 3 beads on each one. And I've got a marshmallow on there with some chocolate. And then I'm just going to show you it this way. So here are pretzel sticks, those wafers, and these little marshmallows. And some candies that I made, but that wasn't part of the tutorial. How cute is this? Always Dolls did like these dishes to put all the things in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've already spent way more time than I expected to on this, and I have a tray that's going to work just fine with it. So yeah, I will put up a few pictures up here just so you can kind of see things put together. I was going to do a little date scene with Ingrid and Casey, but I cannot multitask to that extent. So anyway, took longer than I thought I would, but I liked this tag. Thank you, Bailey, for doing it. And I will tag a whole bunch of channels and we'll see who joins. And I'm going to keep my eyes on American Girl Films channel just to see what other tag videos are coming down the line. In the meantime, I have so many videos backed up, like, so there will be no shortage for the foreseeable future. I'll be posting 2 days a week, typically on Sundays and Thursdays, so sometimes it changes. If you subscribe and you click on the notification bell, then you will know if it changes. You will know every time I drop a video. So anyway, go do that. Binge watch some videos if you want. I'm going to put a playlist up here on the left and a video that the YouTube algorithm selected just for you on the right. And I hope that you're doing well, that you tell your dolls hey from my dolls, and you come back to see me soon.